And thank you so much, Echo, after, I think it's fair to say, maybe a little bit of a stomp of a game one, but definitely at least a spicy draft. And I think our initial reactions, at least when we were looking at this, is, hey, Taco Gaming, it feels like they got what they want. They had winning lanes, whereas maybe Large
Yeah.
didn't quite have the avenue to make plays, Veteran.
Yep, I mean, we're definitely talking beforehand about how the way that Taco Game were able to pull off an upset win against No Walk was they take winning lanes and they allow City Witty to farm and scale up and be really good on the first skirmishes. It looks like Large were like, okay, maybe you're going to get those because of our champ pool issues, but we'll try to make sure the first skirmish is as hard for you as possible. The Draven Blind was a very, very good choice by them. Neither Veigar nor Ziggs have been shown at that point. But if you assume Wolverine's only going to be playing these mage carries on bot, Draven's going to win lane against all of them. You saw them engage into a counter jungling, crucially providing a corridor for City Witty to make plays for camps into the volley bear, right, and try to get himself ahead. So 3 winning lanes from them, very good, and obviously the attempts to win that first skirmish didn't quite go to plan for Large. Yeah.
All right, Colomer's muted on stream. He'll be back in just a second for us. But I think I understood where he was going with the point that he was making of, Large, it feels like they have a certain style that they like to play. They have certain champions that they like to play, but it doesn't always quite work out because against a team like Taco Gaming, right, they're going to just try to beat you in lane, like you mentioned, Veteran, with that Draven pick. Maybe Colomer's back now and he can
maybe. Hello.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, cool tech issues. Yeah, I don't really. Large fell into this trap that I feel like actually happens in amateur a lot, where when you're like the underdog in the series, which I think a lot of people could agree, other than you guys, I think everyone else could agree that they're likely underdogs in the series. You generally are like, okay, we want to play comfort and we want to play the scale. And what ended up happening is that you have 3 lanes that, like, even though you picked Wooly, who is like one of the best early skirmishing junglers until he gets outscaled at like level 6, you had no like way for him to play and nothing proactive for him to do. Like, what lane are you going to gank? And they fell into this situation where they were only able to play reactively. You couldn't do anything aggressive. You weren't able to really get pushed in any of your lanes. And obviously we saw they were kind of able to kind of keep it even early when Taco messed up the bot dive early. But after that, they just played it a lot more cleanly. And again, Large couldn't really do anything proactive for basically the entire rest of the game.
Yeah, and we did see, as you said, Taco did go for those bot dives and it didn't quite work out. So, Large maybe did find a couple mistakes, but it didn't go well enough for them, Veteran.
Yeah, I mean, here's the dive. It's very, very difficult. I like that they attempted to one-shot the wave to give them the biggest opportunity for this to actually work out. This is actually the one that doesn't work out. Sorry, I thought we were gonna end up with the one that did work out for them. This play by Yona could have very easily taken Gorica, but then you end up with Yasuo here. So this is the second lot of play. And you have Shun here potentially able to pick up 3 kills, but all the gold ends up going on volley. Shun fails his combo here at the end. He was definitely trying to buffer into the flash there, but he ended up just throwing the tornado and flashing into, the Great Abyss, leaving Volibear to pick up the last kill there. And then you end up with a 5-0 Volibear on your team, on a team that has Yone, Yasuo, Veigar, and Ziggs. You'd prefer it on literally anybody else but him.
Literally
they
anyone,
end up going into those skirmishes with a very fed Volibear, who's basically a large cannon minion at that point, and
Turbo
not very
Chem
fed
Tank. No, but all great points, Colomer.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think obviously that could have gone a lot better, but in general, I think Large really needs to make a massive adaptation because our biggest criticism for Large is their limited champ pools, and they need to be able to do something early, and you can't give Taco 3 winning lanes where they have all the say and all the initiative on what they want to do on the map. They are just too good of a team to kind of throw that away, other than that one bot dive. But in general, I don't expect Taco to be given 3 winning lanes. Yeah, and City free control over the map, because again, if that bot lane early dive worked out, I'm pretty sure City just goes up 100 CS on the Volibear by like 50 minutes this game. So hopefully we see some adaptations. One thing in particular I really would like to see would be for Large to not ban away Senna. They picked it every single game, and I really just don't see Gorka picking Senna into your team. And if they decide that they want to pick it, like, sure, fine, you can go Senna, and then we're going to be playing a scaling mage bot lane anyway with Wolverine. So that's an adaptation I would like to see, but whatever they decide that they need to go, maybe you don't go both the Win Brothers, maybe you go one, but they need to make an adaptation definitely going into the next game.
Right, and I love that you bring that up. And it does raise an interesting point, too, of maybe if Large has a winning lane, you were talking about, like, if Taco Gaming maybe wants to pick the Senna, it's not necessarily Taco Gaming speciality, and if Large is able to scale alongside them, perhaps their team fight could do it. It is a long shot, but it is, of course, a shot. But we have our second replay of the game, and it really is just a fight where I think it truly explodes, because at this point, the kills are, I think, about tied, Colomer, but Taco Gaming's still very far ahead.
The kills are even at this point, but Taco's ahead like 4 or 5k gold, and then you just have this wonderful initiation by Shochi, who deserves a lot of credit for getting this fight out. It looked like it was going to be a little bit close. It was an early 1-for-1, but at this point, Taco just has way too much HP, and they just pick everyone off one by one. And at this point, again, if you're in a situation where you're down this much gold for Large, you have to be able to try to make a proactive play, try to be able to get a pick, try to be able to, cheese in the bush or something like that. And just as like their champions just don't do that well this game. So being behind with so little ability to force fights and be able to make these proactive plays, it's really, really hard to execute. And at that point, the game is basically just over.
Definitely. Well, we'll see if in the next game Large is able to get some scaling, but maybe with some proactivity as well, or at least help the wheels fall off of the Taco Gaming train. But before we get into game number 2, I got a couple more questions to make you guys sweat a little bit. I enjoy it. So first one is, this is the year that Supernova was founded, the longest standing team in Summer PGCQ number 2. Colin, I'm going to come to you first.
I actually know this one for sure, so because I was actually just looking at this earlier. So, Veteran,
right.
do you want to?
Maybe Veteran. Maybe we'll put Veteran on the spot. Yeah.
I'll say, I don't know, 2020, 2019, one of the two. I'll say, I'll say 2020.
No, we gotta go way back. It's 2014, baby. Way back in the day. In November 2014. I'll even call my shot. November 2014. I don't remember the day though.
Okay, I don't have the day or the month. I only looked up the year, but you're right. It's 2014. Supernova is a very long-standing amateur org, even though the Proving Ground circuit has only existed for a couple years now. Supernova has been around for a very, very long time. They've seen pro players like Jenkins and Tactical go through their rosters. So very cool to see the longevity of this team. But the second question I got for you guys, a little bit more memey, perhaps. There are 2 players on Large. They're the only 2 players that filled out the questionnaire that said they would want to turn into insects. If given the opportunity to turn into any animal, they would turn into insects. Which 2 players of Large are the insects? Veteran?
I'm gonna say Lynn and Kaiser Ward because these are the 2 players I worked with, and they're both degenerate, so that's my guess.
Okay, yeah.
It's a degenerate question. I'm going with those 2.
What about you, Veteran?
Wolverine and Reg, whatever however you pronounce this guy's name, Reggie.
All right. Well, Veteran actually is gonna get half points on this one. It's Reggie and Scoon. For some reason, said if they were given the opportunity to turn into any animal, Reggie said he would be a cockroach and Scoon would be a caterpillar. So, you guys didn't need to know that, but now you do. You have to live with that information too. So enjoy. But either way, casters, I'm sorry, you have to live with that information as well. And I'm sure we're getting geared up and ready to go for game number 2. We'll see if Large can force a game number 3 and keep Veteran and I's predictions alive, or if Colomer is going to prove he has the biggest brain here on the desk. Take it away, guys.
Thanks a lot, Hawk. I gotta say, Ethan, I don't really see the appeal of being a cockroach or a caterpillar. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you see something there. What do you think, man?
No, not really. No, I'm cool like this.
Yeah, no, I feel that. It's being human, pretty chill.
Big fan.
I don't see it. I guess caterpillar, you turn into a butterfly later on, so that's
true. You could fly.
Something. That's kind of
based.
That is kind of based. I'm not gonna lie. You know what else would be based if Large can take game number 2, because we're almost so close to getting to draft for game number 2. And like we said before, Large, they have a rather large work order ahead of them. They have to win 2 games back to back, or they are done and going home empty-handed. Do you think they can do it, man?
Maybe, because the fact is, like we keep talking about, This is all of 2022 is basically on the line for Large here. This is what it's all about, trying to get to proving grounds. But they, so far, have fallen in game 1. They need to make the comeback. Like you said, 2 in a row for that chance to be able to fight for the top 10 placement here. Taco Gaming, of course, it's really big to make top 6, but they will go to proving grounds regardless of whether or not they go home on the night. But after game 1, yeah, I don't think they're going home, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's they're scary. They're definitely scary. And Large, they got to pull something crazy out if they want to win this thing. It's kind of sad too because we saw a lot of really good stuff coming up from Large, especially kind of early on when they were able to turn some of these fights back in their favor. Maybe this time around, I'd like to see them. I mean, obviously, it probably wasn't intentional, but them kind of funneling all of the kills onto Reggie kind of, I feel like, was a little bit detrimental at the end there. I don't know. That's just how I feel.
No, I feel you. 5-0 Volley Bear. It's nice in solo queue, but it'd be really cool if like Vigar or Ziggs or like literally anybody else managed to pick up those kills. It's fine early on because you can do something with that gold, but the problem is Gorka gets fed, no one can touch him. He's just doing dummy thick damage. It's just not playable anymore. So now going into this next game, maybe we see a little bit of a different draft come through for the side of Large. I think something with a little more cohesion maybe because it just looked like you had a lot of damage on one side.
Yeah.
And you had a decent idea for the bot lane, but I think that was what made it really difficult because you gave Rovex basically an out for bottom lane, and because it was really easy for Gorka to be able to just blood rush his way around all the CC. Like he's chilling.
Yeah, he was just straight up chilling. I mean, I gotta ask you, do you think that we're gonna see Draven or Lissandra even get through this next draft, or I mean, I think they're taking them out? Because I mean, they were pretty.
I think
pretty
it's
damn
Lissandra.
scary.
I think Lissandra gets banned.
Okay.
It's gotta. I think so many of those fights when the game wasn't like overwhelmingly in Taco Gaming's favor, Shochi slapped in those fights, man.
Yeah.
Like the big roots, saving himself with the Frozen Tomb, picking people off, like he was playing well.
Yeah, no, he was pretty nasty, and I do feel like, especially in that bot lane, it was more, I feel like, kind of a it's not you, it's me sort of situation where like if Large just kind of re-strategize a little bit, they can get back into that thing and they can keep Gorka under pressure a little bit more. That way he can't just be blood rushing around and getting all this farm, because I mean we see every time Draven gets that cash, gets that money, he hits like an absolute truck, and he did that exactly this game. I recall once again managing to have one Q. That's
sticking
like
with you, isn't it?
Yeah, that's solo queue when you're like, I'm out, get me out, bro. Just FF.
That's the summoner's disconnected angle. I can already see it. You're spamming your jungler saying like it's jungle diff and everything like that. Like I can already see it now.
Yeah, but enough waiting around. Let's get into the draft itself, ladies and gentlemen. As we get into game number 2, Large, they need to make something happen. They gotta pull out something spicy if they want to get this first game, because once they get this game, they still have to do it a second time. So let's get right to it.
Well, we're gonna see. Big thing now is Shochi's Lissandra going to be taken off the table. I think it's probably a big yes from me. But beyond that, I think Taco, now that we have sides swapped, this looking like, we could see maybe a stronger B1 come through here for Team Large. If Taco end up leaving something open, like maybe Soraka, Senna, or something along those lines, it's something we know Large like to go for quite a lot.
Yeah, and it's something they're incredibly good with as well. Like Veteran was saying, he was quite surprised that they ended up like not, picking it up. And so I would like to see them grab it. First bans, already the Wukong, understandable. He was pretty nasty. Those denting blows were doing damage. Those cyclones knocking him up. He didn't like to see it, so they didn't want to get rid of that one.
Yeah,
pretty understandable. And TG, I feel like TG, they're just gonna run it back ban wise. They're like, yeah, I mean, do whatever you want. We still got you.
Yeah, I don't think there was any like one particular issue that they had here. So instead, it's going to be the Yone taken away by Large this time, which is interesting. Maybe they want to grab the Azir for Shun or something along those lines. But either way, we are seeing some mix-ups here for Large and a different strategy in mind.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm all for it, right? You got to change things up, especially after that game number 1 where it was quite clear that it just wasn't working out what you were putting down there. So you got to switch it up here, Taco Gaming. The next ban, really taking the time to actually consider. I thought for sure they were just going to rapid fire these bans out, that they knew exactly who they don't want to play against, but I like to see it. I respect it, really taking their time and really thinking things over.
Yeah, they are, and it's going to be the Soraka taken out of the picture once more by Taco Gaming here. They just don't want it. They want to make sure they don't let any of the big favorites for large, or the large favorites, I should say, get through. Give them any chance of coming back in this game too, because again, tournament lives on the line here for both teams, but large in particular are the ones who are trying to make it to Proving Ground still have a lot to prove if they want to make top 10 in amateur. As they remove the Senna again, it looks like.
I mean, I guess they must know something we don't. A little surprised that they get rid of that once again. I don't see Gorka being the type to really play it, but hey, do what you got to do. And maybe they were worried that if they don't, then maybe Taco Game is going to look to pick it up in some way. They got to deny it from them. Excuse me. So it is what it is. Once again, Mordekaiser, don't want Kaiser Mord on it, force him to play something that he's maybe not as comfortable on. Nothing too surprising there.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Leone was okay, actually. So that being taken away also removes another option from him. And I either way, I don't think top is going to be what's picked up. There's still a lot of strong picks up and available. Volibear is still up, and that's something we see a lot from Reggie. Okay, they're actually going to take the Kindred away from City Witty. They banned it last game, as so many people often do, but they left it up because they want to grab it for themselves.
Okay, you know what? I respect that. Reggie going, let me show you how to play this champ correctly. And then, if he can pop off with it, I'm more than happy for him, honestly. Now, Taco Gaming running it back, grabbing that Draven once again. It worked out incredibly well game one. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Not really too surprised there. I'm a little worried. Lissandra is still there. That's all I'm going to say.
But so's Karthus.
Ooh.
This time, that one is left up. It was also banned away by Large in game one. Now it's going to be City Witty piloting that one here, and that ends up being a big deal. We less likely now, I think, to see Lissandra come through, just because Karthus really loves to be the only magic damage champion on his team. But we'll see. There's still a lot of options. The fact that Shochi did so well with the playmaking could still warrant that pick again if it's available.
Yeah, we just see the going in and pick up right now, I believe. Gaming did end up banning that last time around, so curious to see why they were so afraid of it. Did you see? Oh, locking in the Nautilus here for Lin. Okay, I like it.
Yeah, so a more aggressive bot lane already right off the bat here for the side of Taco Gaming. And that does mean that maybe a couple of things could go through here. I'm pretty sure Large have gone for something like a Seraphine Nautilus before. So that could be what they're angling for. And if Taco Gaming sniff it out, they can ban it. But I also like that Lawrence is going to be running the Akshan in the top lane. We don't see him a lot, but I think the thing Gwen struggles with is range. So, I mean, Lucian is an example, but obviously Akshan top ends up being a lot more useful later on into the game. GP, Jace, things like that. So it does mean that Lawrence has a pretty good lane going for himself.
Yeah, you really, just once you're picking up that range, right, it's really forcing the Gwen as well. You got to decide, you're going to drop your Shroud just to get a little bit of farm in and dodge a couple of auto attacks, or you have to basically never use it all and save it until an actual gank comes through. So very interesting. Curious if Lawrence, we've seen him on that auction a few times as well, especially when he was repping the old DKC name. So I'm curious to see how he's going to do well, if he's going to do well with it. But Taco Gaming actually banning the Lissandra themselves. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it's just kind of what we were talking about earlier. Like, you see because Karthus, you want to usually go 80 solo lanes with the Karthus, that they just want to make sure the option is not available there for Large. So that makes a lot of sense. And for the most part, they're continuing along the same tune with the... Okay, so it's not the Pike, but it is actually going to be the Leona coming through here. So same idea where there's a lot of all-in potential, but Leona, I feel like, doesn't get a lot of respect just because her all-in is really good. She's way tankier than Nautilus, and it just survives so much longer in team fights. Yeah, definitely. Oh, okay. So let's see the final lock-ins coming in for Lodge. Going to be the Galio and the Ezreal here. It's interesting. It's interesting, I'll say that. Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, it's a kind of a safe blind, I suppose, because maybe they were expecting something AP in the mid lane, but now you're just going to be playing into the Tryndamere, and then 80 pick is kind of what we were expecting based on the Karthus for City Witty in the jungle. So it is a little strange. I think it is nice for the team fight overall, especially if you're trying to make a play in the side lane over someone with like Kaiser Mord on this Gwen. I think that's the option there. It's less about lane, it's more about team fighting, wombo combo, things like that, so you can win out in the 5v5. Yeah, I'm a little surprised to see the Ezreal being paired up here with the Nautilus. Curious to see how they're going to look to kind of play around that, because I really like the Nautilus, right, with the idea kind of that you want to keep kind of Gorka in this, like, keep him under pressure constantly so that he can't do what he wanted to do last time around, right? And Rovex opting this time around with that Leona, maybe not going to be
level 2 at like, what was it, like 7 minutes, something like that, because he was
Yeah,
literally
something
just,
like that,
he was
yeah.
everywhere on the map, just like swimming around constantly. So it's gonna be fun to see this bot lane kind of sticking together and actually looking to do things out.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, okay, you say that, but it is worth noting, when you pick Ezreal, it's usually because you want your support to also, be gone, leave lane. And I think Leona is probably going to be able to do the same thing here. So I have a feeling it's going to be more 1v1 action. It's going to be Lin and Rovex trying to get around the map, trying to have that impact on other lanes. And especially, I think Shun is going to need quite a bit of help here in this matchup. So that's probably where a lot of attention is going to go.
Yeah, I was definitely saying that as well. Because Reddy gonna have to be hopping in and out around there, making things happen, especially going up against that Tryndamere and that ulti. This is scary. It's definitely scary, especially if you manage to let Shochi get ahead. We saw what he can do with these mages, with these engenders. So let's see what he can do with that Tryndamere. Like I'm a little worried. I'm shaking a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of potential here for Shochi to be able to do a lot of damage here, not just in the side lane, but even in these team fights, if he can get on top of someone like Reggie, like Wolverine, whatever the case may be. And already, as we go into what could be the final game, Large going for a bottom lane early level 1. And also, favorite movie, Jujutsu Kaisen 0, based. Based.
Personally, haven't had the pleasure of watching that, but I mean, if you say it's based, I guess I have to check it out. I have no point. I have no choice at this point.
You gotta check it out.
Oh, flash hook, not quite gonna land there. Getting the flash out as well here from Rovex, but it doesn't have that hex flash, so it's not really the end of the day. Nice little attempt, and honestly, you like to see it. This time around, Large realizing they have to switch things up. They gotta get aggressive. They gotta get scrappy with it, trying to find something there early on.
Yeah, but honestly, not able to find really much of anything, so that play doesn't end up working out. But I like the invade. City and Lawrence, they know, I mean, they have the better level 1. Oh god, even Shochi is on the way.
No, don't do it to him. They're just about to set up and wait. This could end incredibly badly for Large. They have no idea. Looking to move in. Already Shochi's going to be there to cut them off. He's the blast going to get over the wall, spin in to win it. But not quite going to find anything there. Flash from Lawrence as well. Flash from Shochi as well. Grabbing himself first blood into Shochi's hands. You like to see it if you're part of Taco Gaming. And they're going to grab the blue buff as well.
It's going to be the blue and the Grump there for City Witty. And of course, you do get the first blood there. The thing is kind of bugged out, but somebody did get a kill, and it was Shochi. So now that's Reggie having his first clear already kind of messed with at this point. He's going to try and maybe go for red into City Witty's bot side, but either way, I mean, it's already a great start here for Taco Gaming.
Yeah, definitely. Love to see it if you're a Taco Gaming fan. Not so much if you're a Large fan, but hey, it's only the first kill. There's still plenty of time to get things going. We've seen the hex flash about to get dropped here by Rovex. Looking for something here, but it's just going to get stunned down. Not going to find anything just yet.
Nah, not just yet, but that early level 2 does give you bit of an angle here. Wow, so instead of going for the invade, it's going to be the level 2 gank here. They're going to see what they can get. Oh my god,
might be a bit late to the party, though, because Gorka picking up 1 here. Those spinning
Reggie,
axes
don't do it, bro.
are hurting. Don't do it to him, Reggie. Gotta be careful. Trying to find something, but Wolverine gonna pick up that first kill. They're onto Rovex. And they translate it into 2 here. Not quite gonna find it. Come on, Wolverine. Can't quite get it, though.
Okay, so a little bit of answering back coming through here. It's not in camps, but it is in kills. Oh,
yep. Woo,
speaking of kills.
Yep, the Shield of Durant coming right in there. That was, yeah, you hate to see. That's all I can really say. You hate to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a really scrappy first few minutes here, obviously, from both of these teams. But, I mean, realistically, I think the one who's happiest about this one is City Witty, because realistically, besides that, which is unfortunate. I think he managed to get his Gromp still with his passive, and he got the fast reset, which means he gets to walk back to his top camps nice and easy.
Yeah, I'm not quite coming out. A lot of damage actually onto Shochi, though. Needs to be careful. Rovex looking to take the brunt of things, running for his life. A lot of damage coming out. Turns back around for the stun. That might have not been the move. Goes down, and they're looking for more here. It's Scrap City, baby. They grab themselves a second kill. Thanks a lot. We'll be leaving, but Gorka is like, you're not paying. No, sir. They find 1 at least, and now Gorka needs to try and get something happen.
Oh,
doesn't
nice
quite get knocked up. That was huge. And did Gorka might about to lose to Lin, actually. Lin will pick up that kill.
Wow. We're 9 kills so far early, and okay, the spec bug has fixed itself, which is excellent. We're going to see a replay of surely what just happened in the mid lane, and things have just been insane here. You can tell Large are fighting for their lives because they are doing their damnedest to see if they can get themselves some kind of lead here. And we're going to see it. It starts with this move from Reggie getting on top of Shochi, and even though Rovix does have the angle with this roam, ultimately he's only level 2, doesn't have all his skills, and it's a 3v2.
Yeah, opposite turn around and go for that stun, try and get that rock so that the rest of the team can pull up, but just on the move, end up going down. The flash from Scoon to get away from the turret here actually survives, and then down goes Shochi a little too low. Gorka, right? He's just stuck in a rock and hard place, just barely doesn't get knocked up, but then gets hit with that hook from Lin, and Lin just too tanky at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, the early game base stats on support is a little unfortunate. So much has been going on. A little too thick. And we have this move from Lin, too. I mean, Lawrence has pushed this wave in nice and deep. He's going to get spotted out. Lawrence surely knows he's just got to...
Oh, you know what? Hey, I
he landed that?
I respect it. He tried to
that.
predict. He tried to predict it. Just not quite the range he was looking for. And so, honestly, it was a clean, but I respect the attempt nonetheless. I will say, though, it's nice because Large just, they understood that they need to do something different, and they're doing exactly that. We're almost 6 minutes in. Large already got 6 kills, and look at that. It's not just all on Reggie this time around. That's probably my favorite part about it.
For sure, and I like that Citywitty hasn't started the dragon. He's waiting with the vision they have to make sure Lin and Reggie aren't actually looking to make something happen here. So it's going to be an easy play onto this dragon. Citywitty just gets to go back to farming. You can already see the farm lead starting to come through, and it's just reflecting in the XP, because that Requiem is going to be very impactful here. Of course, it being global, having no fight at this point when that ult is up is ever going to be like a 1v1 or 2v1, because that Requiem is going to have a big impact, especially when Citywitty starts to get items.
Yeah, and like you said, I'd love to be that solo AP damage dealer. Well, obviously,
yeah,
Leona, but it's like this time around, obviously, you're going to get tanky, and so love to be that. And not looking too great right now being 0-2-2, but I mean, he can opt to just scale up. It's not the end of the world. Has that Dark Seal as well. So just the assists in themselves are going to be giving them those stacks, getting them those stats that he needs.
Now things are slowing back down. Again, it's just Reggie looking for a lot of gank angles here. He's coming through from lane, and this might actually be the angle he's looking for.
Oh, nice hook land. You see the cleanse getting dropped, though. The True Chop Rod not quite going to find the mark. And Rovex, though.
The Eclipse.
He is so tanky, but he still will go down. Shot. Yeah, they find that Mystic Shot, and Wolverine going to find himself a double. Doesn't quite go down to the turret. At the very least, Gorka picking up that kill onto Lin. So, won't leave that fight empty-handed.
No. I mean, you're 3-0 right now as Wolverine, so he's got quite a lead going on for himself. Of course, Gorka also has 3 kills, but is down about a wave of CS. The big thing here for Citywitty is that he's just finding these angles to invade and continuously farm. And that's why, part of why you're seeing, if you look at the kill difference between these two teams, it's 4 in favor of Large, but the gold lead is just about 1,000. It's not that much realistically. And that just ends up being a good hook from Lin. Your support is nearby. In Rovex, you're not expecting the all-in to really be that impactful, but Reggie's here.
Yeah, that Mystic Shot was beautiful. Oh, that damage coming out, though, from the spinning axe in there. That turret finishing the job. Almost taking out Wolverine there as well. Very close. At the end of the day, not quite going to find it. And once again, kind of a repeat of last game still, though. Gorka, top of the gold charts at the moment.
Yep.
But Reggie is close behind, and so is Wolverine in comparison to last game, where they could not touch him.
Right, so this is definitely, so far, so not so bad for Large, especially because if this Rift Herald Secure comes through, as long as Lawrence doesn't do anything about it, that's going to be pretty big for you to set up for either a dive. If you make another play bot and get more gold into Wolverine, that can be a way for you to really start to accelerate this lead. But right now, Lawrence, he has a problem with this Herald. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, was looking to see if he can make something happen, but the rest of the gang of Large here did pull up to help their boy out. Are going to go ahead and secure themselves out. Now Lin looking to see if he can make him find something here onto Shochi. Hook does connect. Stun comes out, but Shochi just going to spin it to win it. Get on out of there. And it's safe.
Yeah, but, support's not in the area. Look who's here.
Yep.
Level 7 Citywitty. If Rovex in the area, it's looking like they actually don't want to try and do anything about it.
Yeah, actually just going to go ahead and drop the wall of pain there. Scare Lin off. And overall, there's nothing really good come out of it. And honestly, you know what? I respect it. No need to take those fights. No need to kind of gamble. You don't have the lead just yet, but you're not too far behind at the moment. You're easily you can still come back and get on top.
Right, and that's the thing. Taco, they've actually managed to close the gold lead just a little bit here, as you can see. It was 1K about a minute ago when we were talking about it. Now it's down to 300, and a lot of it, again, it's been the farm. It's been the CS. It's City Witty in part, who is just pulling away. It's Shochi also, because Skoon has been spending so much time out of lane, moving with Reggie to try and help facilitate plays being made here. But it's still costing them a lot, and because Large keep bleeding gold and XP, what they're going for may not actually work.
Yeah, once again, they're in this bot lane. Third time around, gonna drop that Herald down. Look to just farm up as many plates as they can. I will say, I would very much like to see Reggie now pivot his way on into the top lane, because we have been seeing, right, Lawrence has just been shoving Kaiser more in, because you just have that rain into melee advantage going down. So you're always gonna be pretty in a tight spot when you're the range champ there. So I really hope we get to see Reggie move up.
Yeah, and you're already seeing the plated steel caps come through here, and City Witty, he's real happy about that one, because everybody is probably going to be leaning more towards armor, just because most of Taco Gaming is doing physical damage. So that's the big deal for City Witty, who's so far ahead right now, working towards his first mythic item. And Shochi, I mean, he's chilling. Low health trend. Is he ever really low? Rage bar healing is just so crazy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Never really in too bad of a spot. Now Gorka, once again, though, going to be able to just pick up these solo plates here with Rovex just backing off. Love to see it. Hex Slash over the wall. Maybe they're going to try and look for something here on Lin. Have him cornered. Reggie's here as well. The TP come down as well. The Solar Flare gets dropped, and they absolutely drop him. Rovex, nowhere to go because of that wall of pain, will go down in return.
Yeah, so that's a 1-for-1. But it does cost the teleport, and what that means is, look at Shochi. He's beating on that mid-tier 1 turret. No one's going to be able to do anything. And we just got word that Kindred has received their 4th mark. It means you do get the first buff to your range. I believe it's attack speed. That's going to be, at least in Reggie's mind, the cue to go for this dragon. However,
fight. Oh, not quite gonna find it though. The secure coming through from City Witty. He's like, don't you remember? This jungle belongs to me, bro.
Yeah, flashbacks to last game here, and that means that you're closer and closer to that soul, which is going to be a Hextech soul. Like, this is the most powerful one in the game, and Taco already have a lead for it. Speaking of leads, Echo, I gotta ask you, take a look at the gold charts right now. Taco Gaming are ahead. Only one kill has gone between each of these teams since we last checked, but you can see it. It's more than 1,000 gold in their favor, and part of it is because you're seeing plate gold come through and more kills being put on to Gorka. But you can see it now. Gorka, Shochi, they're the ones in the lead. They're going to be the ones who are a problem later on into this game. So Large, despite a lot of the plays that they've been going for, kind of working out for them, they don't have that much to show for it.
Yeah, it's like you touched on before, right? Once again, you look at the gold grass, and it's Shochi and Gorka per usual. And Shochi, if you're looking to find something here, gonna pop that Undying Raid, the flash, double flash coming out, but Lamb's Respite gonna keep him alive for a little bit longer. Skoon with that hero entrance coming through, but it's still gonna go down and bite the dust. It doesn't even matter. And the Requiem sending him to the grave.
That's right. No Lamb's Respite means no escape from his ultimate. And now Lin probably about to lose his life as well. Wolverine, though, okay.
Okay, flash Mystic Shot coming out from Wolverine, but has to be careful. A lot of damage coming out here from City. Rovex is like running him down, trying to get that stun on him.
Wow, that's a double.
But a double kill. At least Rovex should be able to pick up that kill, and they will be able to clean up. Gorka grabbing Lin, and Rovex grabbing Wolverine.
Yeah, but the thing is, because of the early shenanigans in the beginning of the game, Large actually had a lot of shutdowns. So these trades back and forth favor Taco Gaming being able to pick up this bounty gold. And it means what? Once more, Gorka gets the bonus gold for taking down first brick. And that just means, again, this Draven is just extremely accelerated. You already see the mythics coming through for everyone on Taco Gaming. And Taco Gaming are firmly in control once again here for the second time in the series.
Seeing the repeat once again, right? Gorka 5-2 already, and it's almost a 4 to 5K gold lead for Taco Gaming. They're just constantly pushing it up over and over. X Rift, yeah, Observer's favorite lift. Love to see it. That's based. I just give it to that's based Observers. Let's go.
Yeah, it is fun. The Hex Gates are pretty dope when you remember to use them. I definitely have never forgotten. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, you're seeing, of course, the zoom in. We're having a real good time here. Shout out to our observers, and I mean, Taco Gaming are having a great time too, Echo. They have so much gold, up on large right now. You have someone like City Witty who's scaling up really well. You have Gorka who's snowballing into, I don't even know. He's going to knock large into next week. I can't remember where I was going with that one. But the point is, they're so strong. And large seem like they aren't sure how they're going to be able to overcome this one. Because again, it is mostly for grouping this comp here. And you can see when they do group, they find success. But in terms of lane pressure, in terms of late wave states, they just have no advantages.
Only thing we really got right from Wolverine, that 5-1 Ezreal got that Essence Reaver already. Definitely looking a little bit hopeful. You know, it's not all bad just yet, but definitely they gotta get their money up. They want to get back into this thing. Shochi, I mean, he's just pushing these lanes. He does not care. My man just healed for 300 from the rage bar. My God.
Yeah, that's what I mean, man. Like, it's crazy. Now Gorka, I don't even want to know how quickly he was able to take that one down. Gets to hold on to the Rift Herald, and with Dragon in a minute, we're just gonna see a repeat of what we saw last game. You drop the Herald right before Dragon, and it's going to be able to allow you to easily pick up your soul point. When we talk about Cloud Soul being not so impactful earlier on in the night, how about Hextech Soul?
It's just different story. Definitely a different story.
A little bit of a different story. This might shock you.
See, this information might just change your world. But it is up in 50 seconds. I already see some backs coming through real quick here from Taco Game, looking to reset and just grab some ice real quick. Reggie not quite gonna find. Yeah, that does hurt. If they could have found Rovex there, that might have been really huge. But
something.
Yeah, would have been something, but nothing coming out of it. 35 seconds left till the drag is up. Yep. To zoom in onto the gates. They're going to opt to run down the lane instead. And I'd be very surprised if they don't look to maybe just drop this Herald and stuff these waves in. Ooh, hook landing. Got to get on to Lawrence. You're going to try and find something. A lot of damage coming out from Wolverine already.
Whoa.
Oh my God. Yeah, goodbye. You're done, Lynn. Down he goes with the Requiem. The heroic entrance couldn't save him. The Locket couldn't save him. And Lawrence still going to escape just barely. Escapes nonetheless.
And this is the 4v4. Still in favor here for Taco, and of course Gorka dropping the Rift Herald like we were talking about. It's going to be easy once this wave clears for Herald to just go ahead and threaten that next turret. But the rest of Taco, they're going to have a pretty easy time moving up to this Dragon. The big thing now is, do you let Gorka come through? If so, it means you let the Dragon go through. And it's large saying, okay, forget it. We're not going to do either. Let's just deal with this Herald that almost broke our tier 2 turret. But it's tough. Again, large, continue to bleed. Continue to lose more all across the map here. And we're in this position where, sure, large, we're up about 1,000, maybe 1,500 gold. Now Taco are up 7k.
Yeah, not a great spot to be in right now. Shochi looking to find the Gil here onto Reggie, but Lamb's Respite does get dropped down, and so now it's going to get real dicey. Shochi still going to go down the Lin. Bit too much CC for him to handle.
So that is something. You managed to get a nice pick. I think a shutdown as well. You need more than that, Echo. You need so much more.
Yeah.
To be able to actually mount some sort of comeback here. And large are going to have to dig deep. If they don't want this tournament, they don't want their year of 2022 amateur to end for them here. But there aren't a lot of options available to them. It's just grouping. Again, like we talked about in the previous game, it's just committing so many members to make plays like this.
Yep. Have to commit that. Looking to get Rovex at the very least. Unfortunately, Gorka was able to run off, and they will pick up Rovex. Grab that kill. Nice little 300 goals in their pocket. Still 7k down, though. They got a long way to go. A couple more things they're going to have to do. For one,
Right.
That bot tier 1 is looking pretty juicy right now. I would like if someone could go ahead and pick that one up. It's looking pretty low to me.
Yeah, I mean, Lawrence is going to be able to at least push the wave out a little bit, but I don't think he'll be able to actually touch that next upcoming turret. The thing, too, though, is that when you commit so many people, no one's pushing out bot wave. No one's really dealing with top either. It takes so much for you to get one little play off. And again, we're in that position where, all right, I need to see a bunch of throws from Taco Gaming and some catches from Large to make it happen.
Yeah, and we've seen Large can do that. Like, they can get that positioning
hell
going
yeah.
to find this thing. But it's just, right now, just not in a good position when you're facing just the 2-3 Trinity with that Kraken Slayer already hurting a bunch. You've got Gorka with looking to build towards that third item, that Collector already hurting. And then the Kindred, right? Reggie, still only 4 stacks. Really hasn't had the opportunity to go anywhere in this map. Also, what is Lawrence doing to Kaiser Moore? Jesus. Gonna go ahead and hookshot in, and he turned his back to him.
He knew
the ignite. He knew the human calculator. He knew the
My guy
numbers.
Yeah, my guy did the math, and that's brutal. And I just want to pull back really quick to a point you made. 2-3 Tryndamere runs down 5-1 Ezreal. ADC is a broken role, by the way. That's what these people want you to think.
Oh no, Wolverine, gotta be careful here. Xenoblade not gonna land here. Solar Flare getting dropped here to stun Reggie. It's gonna land the flash coming out. Those want to get that slow. You see Lin as well with the hook to try and gain some more distance here. Trying to get him, and they don't even need Lin though. So much damage coming up from Wolverine. Gonna grab that. The death charge will still actually start following before he used that hook shot to try and get away. Reg caught in pursuit, but I don't know if he can catch up to him. The jump, the slow. Here comes the damage, but Lawrence does damage of his own, but it doesn't matter. Reggie's like, thank you very much, and the Requiem is here.
Is it almost
to take him out? Oh.
The Lamb's Respite was almost off cooldown too. That is such a feels bad.
Yeah.
And again, you run into that same problem where you just have someone very easily able to take turrets when you commit so many people to one play. This time it's Shoji's turn to go ahead and knock down some free gold. And it's rough too because Taco managed to get a kill back with the Requiem. As we've seen so often before. City Witty, even when he's not there, he's there. He's watching.
He's everywhere, man. You can't escape him.
You actually can't. I gotta say, really quickly, you know when I first started playing this game, Hearth's ult actually pissed me off. Like, it was unequivocal. The anger I felt. The fact that it could just hit me anywhere.
That's fair. That's fair. Then I learned that stopwatch exists, and I felt a little bit better. Then I picked up Echo and found his ult. I felt even more better.
Yeah. No, I'll give you that. There are definitely ways around it. There are definitely ways to deal with it. Right. I'm not even reading that one.
don't even give it to him.
No.
Don't acknowledge it.
No. Nope.
Don't acknowledge it. Oh no. But you know what we do have to acknowledge? This next
What's
drag
that?
that's up in
Okay.
40 seconds. Taco Gaming.
This is it.
They are on soul point at the moment. If they grab this, they're gonna get that Hex Tech Soul easily. One of the strongest souls in the game. And we know for a fact that Large does not want to let that happen.
No, they really don't, because that's gonna basically spell the end
Yep.
of the series for them here. That's gonna be the big deciding factor. But when you're in a position where you're like 8K, almost 9K down, what do you do here besides
What
let
do
it
you
happen?
do? You're supposed to have the answers, man. Please.
All right, I mean the answer is technically the same as what we said last game, where it's okay. Gorka's really fed. Kill him.
Yeah.
That's just kill him, forehead. That's kind of the tech. Oh, I see.
Okay, well, they're going to look to try and find something. Requiem already getting dropped early, putting a lot of damage. Out it goes. Lin getting lower. Heroic answers with the knock-up. Shochi going to use his ultimate to stay alive. Same with the Lamb
Everyone's
Respite.
so low.
Giving a lot of members of Large Knight, but it doesn't matter. As soon as that Lamb Respite is gone, so is Large. They're not living large any longer. They go down, and Taco Gaming picking up the drag here with the ace.
And they're going to go ahead and take the Baron with it here. Not feeling confident enough about their ability to end the game just yet. It's only 22 minutes. Spawn timers aren't that long, but that is an early soul if I've ever seen one, and that is a huge spike for Taco Gaming, especially once they also secure the Baron. Take some camps, take some more turrets, just really solidify this gold lead for themselves, and just look to close things out.
Yeah, early soul, early Baron. We're at this game a lot earlier in the night than I honestly expected, but let's get a quick replay of that and actually understand what went down, because I'm still trying to process. Please keep down. Oh.
I mean, and this is the play too. You know that Large have to go for this dragon,
Yeah.
and Taco say, okay, why don't we just fight them instead? And you're just so strong, you can do whatever you want. What composition doesn't matter anymore. With that kind of gold lead, you can just sprint at them. It doesn't matter what you have. And lo and behold, they just get walla gapped at the end of the day. And once that happens, Soul is theirs, Baron's theirs. And as soon as we come back, we're probably going to be seeing the last minute of this game. What could very well be the last minute or two of Large's season.
Career is on the line. We've seen Large pulling out some large plays as well, looking to hold on, but Gorka looking to shut down Kaiser Mord's dreams for the Everfrost, getting popped, doing a lot of damage, looking to heal up, but it just doesn't matter. You don't do enough. Gorka with the footwork, and Rovex there as well. Honestly, just moral support. He's like, yeah, if you think you're gonna make anything happen, you won't. I'm here too.
Yeah, exactly. A nice little bit of locket, a little help there. They're going to try that. Whoa!
They're going to try and find something, but it doesn't matter. Where did Lin go? I don't know. Some dimension that's far from here. Double kill going into the hands of Gorka. We do see the Requiem getting dropped. This gold still will go down to Lawrence in that backline, finding himself Wolverine. And once again, Large just falls. The bigger they are, the harder they fall, Beatdown.
That's right. Taco Gaming, they have cinched it. They have made it to top 8 because, again, no org are no longer in the tournament. Large, their season is over. They are done for 2022. No chance of making top 10 now.
Yeah, it was a valiant effort. It's nice to see they got real scrappy with it. They got real aggressive. They're going to put up a final stand. Kaiser Moore trying his best to do anything. He's going to go down, though. So will Lin. So will the Nexus. And so will Large as a whole. Taco Gaming taking the second game, taking the series, and snuffing out Large's light.
That's it. Now, Taco Gaming, again, they're going to advance to top 8. They automatically make it to the quarterfinals, and that's already a huge boon for them because, again, even though they're top 10 for sure, being top 6, avoiding playoffs and proving grounds, such a big deal for them here. So this is a necessary step in trying to get that far. So congrats to Taco Gaming for making it happen. I'm going to credit the Taco Fan Gam personally. There's no other explanation in my mind as to why they won in such a dominating fashion. None.
Yeah. And you know what? Honestly, at the end of the day, right? Large, still with a great performance. We're seated pretty low, and they fought their way up to here as a team who assembled themselves last minute. 5 large lads living large, trying to think of more large puns. I can't think of any more, and it's fine. Hopefully, we get to see them next time around. But for now, we have to say goodbye to them. And we're going to say goodbye to us for now as we throw a 2 quick break. And then when we're back, I think Hawk is going to be back with another interview. That's it from us.
And welcome to the interview room where I am joined by the jungler from Large, Reggie. How are you feeling tonight?
Me? I'm kind of nervous right now. I mean, we just lost, but we're chilling. You know what I mean? Like, you know, college is coming up. You know, we got the future. We got the future.
Yeah, no, it's great to hear. I mean, don't be nervous. You know, everyone's here just having a good time. It's great to see you. We want to get to know you as a player, and I think mainly the question that I have just off the bat is you seem to be in very high spirits, and I know that this loss was probably a little bit tough to take, but were you just having fun out there on the Rift?
Me? I mean, yeah, I wanted that dub. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I heard no org took a quit the tournament, and I was like, if we win this, we make playoffs. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, excuse me? We took a game of 100 Thieves. I was like, posted it on my wall almost if we had a printer in this house, but I don't. And, like that was insane. And then like we were going in this, we had such high spirits. It was so, but you know, things happen. We lost. It is what it is. You know, like I'm not like 30 years old. I can play next year. You know,
Yeah.
You know, so we're chilling. Actually, my fingers are still alive.
Yeah, I mean, totally. And I love that you bring that up because this was your first foray into Proving Grounds as far as I know. And I mean, just to see this out of a team that was largely comprised of rookies, people that haven't really been in the scene for a super long time, I think it's fair to say you impressed a lot of people. So do you want to sort of comment onto maybe some of the unconventional styles that we saw out of Large so far this split?
Unconventional styles.
Yeah, you had the Mage's bot and the Win Brothers, like those kind of things.
Yeah, no, we had our ADC couldn't play, so we had to use our sub, and we tried to like pivot into like a more like double mage style instead of going with conventional AD carries, and we did see some success, but we did put our I think we put our team together maybe like 2 days before like OQs. So I mean, we literally had 0 practice, and we just went in guns blazing, and we went pretty far. So I'm really proud of everyone. Yeah. And like, yeah, it was a good run, exciting. We did it. Yeah, we went far. Yeah.
For sure. I mean, you guys made the group stage when I think it's fair to say that the expectations weren't incredibly high for that to happen. So massive congratulations for that. What can we expect out of maybe you and your expectations for coming into the next competitive season in 2023?
All right, listen up. You know, I've been in Hilo for a bit. I took a year break, and then all the people I used to talk to are either pro or high challenger. And you know, I took a break, but I'm coming. People call me a one trick, but look, Volley Bear triple kill, you know, like, oh, Volley Bear, oh, I'm a good man. Like, dude, I got to CQ, you know, growing pains, not the greatest win-loss ratio right now, but you know, we're going like growing pains. It is what it is. But like, I'm coming for that spot. We're doing it.
That's awesome. I love to hear that so much. You are indeed coming. Love to hear that growth mindset. Reggie, thank you so much for joining me on the desk. I'm sorry about the loss today, but absolute congratulations for your run in the group stage and best of luck in the future.
All right, thank you so much. Have a good night, guys.
Yeah, thank you. And welcome back for the second interview of the series, where I am joined, of course, by the support of Taco Gaming, Rovex. Congratulations on making quarterfinals for, I think, the 4th consecutive time this year. How are you feeling after that win?
That's my 4th time? I didn't even know. But, I mean, I think that this was just another win in the season, so yeah, not feeling too much from that, actually.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, you know, hey, you're just taking it one game at a time, perhaps, and that is more than fair. But the first question I'm actually going to direct to you is I just got sent a tweet from Wolverine, who, of course, was one of the managers and a player on Large, saying that Taco Gaming was harder than 100 Thieves next in this series. Care to maybe comment on that statement?
Well, first off, I love Wolverine. Me and him are a first name basis. You know, me and Will go back to, we were.
You guys know each other like that.
Yeah, he knows me as David. I know him as Will. But I mean, that's an honor, because 100X is really looked up upon in amateur. And but I think for Taco Gaming, we're not really a conventional team in how we play. Well, I think 100X is only good because they're really strict in their play, and they're very good at playing standard. So if you do make mistakes, you get slowly choked out. But yeah, our team, we cheese pretty hard, and if you die to our first few plays, it gets really impressive to play against.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. And I think was on full display this series. For example, in the bottom lane for you and Gorka, the double Draven lane in this series. Care to comment on sort of maybe a bit of what the game plan was coming in with Large and perhaps playing for lane priority, and how that sort of manifested itself in the series?
So the Draven pick. In these interviews, I give a lot of free information. Last time it was the Lulu, ban the Lulu, boom, every team's banning it, Enchanted Moonstone's OP. So here, lesson number 2, free coaching, Unified Live on twitch.tv/academy. Draven is the best AD carry on the patch, without a doubt. Ooh. And that's why every team bans it against us, because the champion is just too OP. Like my Draven's holding down the fort against 2 champions. I'm playing Pyke. I'm jungling versus the other jungler, and my jungler's eating. I won't go beyond that, but it is extremely oppressive, and it's no secret. We first pick it every single time it's open.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it definitely worked out in this series, especially against in game 1, particularly the double mage bot lane. Even though the dives maybe didn't go according to plan, Gorka still got really fed. And for what it's worth, I know another player, Dragoon, likes to give out a lot of free info, saying ban Darius every game. So, you know, I think it works out pretty well for you guys, because you are still performing pretty well. But with this win, Taco Gaming is pretty well on their way to having clinched the top 6 spot in the main Proving Grounds tournament for this summer. And obviously there's still a lot of games left to play until then, so probably not looking too far ahead. But are you excited to play in that main stage Proving Grounds once again? And where are you sort of setting your expectations?
Of course, we had nothing. Our bar is set to win PG. I think at this point, a lot of us amateur players, or at least for me and City, like, we've been in amateur for a long time, and Gorka's former pro, Shochi, and Lars. Everyone's just playing for a long time. Like, we want to make it really far in the tournament. So when we made this team together, like, we were striving to get first and nothing under it. So even the upsets that we had going up until today, it didn't really matter, because it's either we win the tournament or we don't. So that's the expectation set up for us.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, that's I feel like a good expectation to have. Try to beat everybody, and Taco Gaming has definitely been a team that has managed to really put that to the test, I think it's fair to say. In particular, you know, I know your role swap has been a big talk of the amateur scene so far this year, and it's looked really, really good, and I think this roster has exceeded a lot of people's expectations. So congratulations for that, and congratulations again, Rovex, for making another quarterfinals. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
All right, and we're going to hop back over to the analyst desk for the cooldown of today's matches. As I think the first thing to draw to our attention, and we talked about this on the desk during the draft, is we actually had a bit more standard of a draft, Collimer.
Wolverine played an AD carry. Didn't play
Yeah.
a scaling mage. I was pleasantly surprised with how that worked out. I was very happy with how that champion was piloted. I think Veteran was mentioning after the draft, you still have 3 losing lanes.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily know how much different we got there. Early game was a little bit better because there was a little bit of a fiesta there that I think that there's going to be replay for. That went in their favor, but it was a little bit more standard, but I think overall Taco is just such a great team. That's kind of why I was very surprised you guys didn't have them 2-0. But you know, my predictions are right. I'm just smartest guy on the desk, so
Ugh,
it is
yeah.
what it is.
Well, I mean, you can definitely you can try to put it down to team where you like, but they definitely did have 3 winning lanes in both games, and the only times that they've won so far are literally when they're 3 winning lanes, and even then they're able to make it close against a team that, you know, doesn't have any advantages anywhere for a large amount of the early game. So I wouldn't be too confident if I was Taco Gaming. I think it's safe to say that Shun doesn't have anything other than the Yasuo Yone. He had to pivot straight back to those globals, to those utility champs, but it's nice to be reminded the playstyle he does when he's on those champs, because truthfully, without him in that early game, they wouldn't have had an early game at all. This wasn't a farming, scaling Kindred that was trying to match it. They were doing heavy invades around Shun. Shun was even giving up waves to do so, and that gave them the opportunities to do their like group plays mid and stuff like this. But ultimately, like, you have to be able to get these setups off so consistently that it's not going to work out. Like, they did not draft to win either of these games. Maybe they never could.
Yeah, and I feel like that sort of segues us perfectly into our first replay, where in this game, Large actually looks like they maybe have an opportunity. I was kind of happy about my prediction when I saw this mid lane fight.
Yeah, for sure.
But,
yeah, I mean, this isn't even. Oh no, this is actually the first. Yeah, so they end up doing multiple of these groupings, and we were talking about it before the first game as well. They are actually really on point with these kinds of map plays. They even ended up doing one top side that was mechanically not played so well, but by being so far ahead on the play, they're able to accrue advantages and actually get them on the carries that matter. You actually end up with both these kills ended up being on the Kindred, rather than just, you know, everything on the Galio or everything on the Nautilus. So you're kind of worried was going to happen after how the initial invades went. They actually were able to get it on the carries. But these kinds of map movements, that was a big strength that Large had. They were actually able to show us that in the second game. That's good they did, but again, it ultimately wasn't enough.
Yeah, especially the kills going into the carries, I think, was a really big thing there. I think after this play, Kindred had 2 kills, which that's a pretty good start for Kindred. I also think it was funny that in the interview, Reggie was really hype about the Volibear triple kill. Even though it may have been suboptimal, I love to see that kind of confidence and excitement from such a young player. So shout out Reggie for that great interview again. But, you know, it's still, ultimately, it wasn't enough, because similar story to game number 1, Columnar, Taco Gaming still found themselves with a very large lead despite the kills that they were down. And it's kind of incredible to me how this sort of kept happening.
I think one of the hallmark traits of being a good amateur team, like the top 5 teams or so, is just being very consistent, and all of them can team fight really well. And I think Taco played this fight in particular great. This is basically the turning part of the game where they basically go 5 for 0. Wolverine's putting out DPS in the back. Shochi manages to kill him, and the rest of his team just picks off all the other members. They're able to get Baron off this and basically build an insurmountable gold lead. With, again, a lot of the kills going over to Gorka, especially, who was just absolutely dominant this series on this Draven, like they were talking about, which they obviously show a lot of comfort on, and it's probably going to get banned against them for the rest of the playoffs, probably. But very solid performance from Taco overall, and realistically, when I made my 2-0 prediction, that's exactly what I was expecting from them.
Yeah, I feel like Gorka is, if that gets banned against him every game now, he's gonna be like, Rovex, why would you do that?
Like, you're on Yumi duty rest of the series because of that.
Oh no. But all I have to say from that replay, though, is Tryndamere is a fun champion, because Wolverine was actually doing some DPS, and then he kind of just got ran down over the wall.
Yeah, 100% if Shochi doesn't get on top of the Ezreal in that fight, there's a very high chance Large just end up winning that fight. So that was an absolute MVP play from him there. The rest of the team were definitely dead if it wasn't for him on that Tryndamere. And Tryndamere is a very fun champ to scale up with. Like, he just Tommy two-tapped that Ezreal when he finally got there.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you know, at the end of the day, now we've had 2 great series. AoE up against Team Pending. AoE takes a 2-0. And then now in this series, it is Taco Gaming taking the 2-0 over Large. Both Taco Gaming and AoE have advanced to the quarterfinals. Large, unfortunately, is eliminated. But Team Pending will be battling against Tempest Gaming next week for their spot in the quarterfinals. So be sure to tune into that one. But as we close out into the day, gentlemen, Veteran, I'll go to you first. Any final thoughts on the series from today?
I think quite clearly there are a lot of very aggressive teams, and no matter what kind of finals we end up with, it's going to be a killer minute. So how these teams play out mechanically, when their champions spike, these things are going to matter a lot. You should really be drafting for skirmishes here. This is the kind of tournament where those Callistas, those Lucians, these kinds of champions, the Dravens like you just saw, they can really come out to play. So I'm excited for more very, very exciting matches based on what I've seen today and the previous week.
And you, Colomer?
I'll go a bit more like broad spectrum for the whole tournament for PG as a whole. The matchups that are coming up over the next couple days, tomorrow especially, basically are going to decide the top 10 teams for what teams make proving grounds, because a lot of these teams that are playing in these lower bracket, like losers bracket matches, are teams that are kind of on the way in that need to make top 8, maybe need to make top 4 in order to make that push to make enough points. And we're going to see a couple of them falling. I think at the start of today there was, I think, 14 teams that were still eligible for the top 10 spots, and maybe like 16. And obviously Large is now out. Tempest, depending on how they go for the rest of the tournament, is one of those teams. And obviously you have Supernova, you have CLG, you have all these teams that are just on the cusp that are like so close to securing it. So all these matches that are coming up over the next couple of days and in the next week are going to be really, really important. So really important to watch those if you're interested to see what teams are going to play off against Academy later this year.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, the Proving Grounds tournament, that is where this all culminates to. It really is like the main playoffs for both Amateur and Academy. It's where Academy has their final best of fives, and it's where Amateur gets to try to test their mettle against them. So I love that you bring that up as well. But as we take a step back now, we all had our predictions, of course. Calmer, you took Taco Gaming 2-0. You ended up being very correct here, as unfortunately for me and Veteran, we were buying in on maybe a little bit of the hype around some of the unconventionalness of Large and their prowess in team fighting, but wasn't quite in the cards, unfortunately. However, for the casters, I think they did a little bit better than the desk. I'm pretty sure we had a vast majority in favor of Taco Gaming, as we do see Read and Write, the only one standing in solidarity with me and Veteran, unfortunately, as first series, of course, was a little bit more split, but shout out all of the other casters for getting that right, as I'm just now looking at the scores, and it is very neck and neck between our casters so far for whoever is going to take the prediction trophy. Twitter, y'all are slacking a little bit. Keep an eye on that.
That TBA logo, I can't get enough of that.
Oh, the smiley face. You always love to see the smiley face, but we'll go ahead and take a look at our schedule for tomorrow as well. We do have a full slate of games for you guys tomorrow, 2 on Academy as well as 2 on Path to LCS. So, you know, no more forfeits, fortunately. No more unfortunate situations causing teams to disband. Yeah, fingers crossed, of course. But we will have Group C and Group D action where lots of good games should be going on. So be sure to tune in, as we can see Fear and Ginger Turmeric, as well as CLG and Randoms will be on the Academy stream with EG and Maryville. Ooh, that's a great series against, and then Supernova and DK Crew on Path to LCS. Be sure to check that out. Support the team, support the stream. Speaking of supporting the stream, Colomer, thank you so much for coming on as our second guest of the day. I know, unfortunately, some of the players that you used to coach on Large didn't quite manage to pull over the hump, but you got your prediction right at the very least. Anything to say to the people before I send you off?
No, I mean, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure. Again, I think the matches tomorrow are going to be awesome, so I think everyone should tune into those, because that's really what's going to decide, these last teams that are right on the cuff, and should be exciting to watch for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Should definitely be exciting. Thank you so much again for joining us, Veteran. Thank you for joining me on the desk all day. It was an absolute pleasure having you as our analyst. And thank you to our sponsors that have been supporting the stream the entire split. We could not do it without you, Atlantic, HyperX, and Ben Q Zowie. Be sure to check them out. But from all of us here at Unified and on the Academy stream, thank you so much. Stay safe and have a great night.